Hello everyone. Sarah here. Thank you so much for joining me for another Craft Roulette entry. This is episode 162. This is 1 week late. I have been trying to get this done for a week, but life goes on, and it's been really nice outside, so I've been gardening quite a bit. So this is my card from 162. If you have not seen, I would definitely check out 163. Kathy Zilski was the guest playing this time, and it is pretty good. So definitely check that out, and I will be working on my card for 163. But once again, this is 162. So we'll be making this card. This is what I'll be making with you today. I did fast forward quite a bit of it just because you don't need to see me color every little thing. And the stamp that I use using is from Simon Says, and it's a free gift that I got with my birthday last year when I made an order. So with that being said, let's continue with making this card. Okay, so what we're going to start off with is to make our matchbook card. And to do that, I'm just going to score at 1 inch and then 6 1/4. If you want to imagine a matchbook, that's exactly what we're kind of creating, where the bottom piece is usually stapled on the bottom, and then you have a bunch of matches when you open up the flap. So we're kind of mimicking that style in an A2 size card. One thing that I have on stash is a lot of scrap pieces of paper, because I do have a side little business where I cut shapes for usually birthday parties and campaigns and such. So sometimes I end up with a lot of scraps, and so they just happen to be on my desk as this episode came about. And so I decided that for my flower field, I would use all these little scraps. And so I had all the colors of the rainbow, and what I focused on were the pinks, reds, then the yellows and greens. So we kind of have a nice little floral pattern going here on the reds and pinks mainly. You can imagine the yellows being the centers of the flowers. Each strip is 1/4 inch thick, and so I have quite a few of them, as you can see. And then I went down to the green, but the green actually kind of gets cut off because I wanted to create some grass. And when I actually cut it, it didn't stick very well because, well, they're very thin strips, and not the glue wasn't on the whole thing. So if you can imagine the grass, when it cuts across to the different layers of green, it kind of would fall apart, and I lost a lot of the pieces. So I ended up cutting that all off, and I will only have the one green layer at the bottom, and then I'll cut another piece of green for my grass layer. This week actually was quite interesting because I actually wasn't working that day. I was supposed to be in the garden, but it was raining all day. And so I was actually creating this card along with Mary and Brandy. And I thought that was quite fun actually, because normally I'm working and don't get to create a card too much later, which is why my card was actually early for the first time, which is not too bad. I actually had time to do other things. Obviously not creating this video, but very productive things otherwise. The stamp set that I'm using is, like I said, the Simon Says stamp, and it is called Bird Day Tweetings. And this was it was a free gift that if you made a purchase, you got a free stamp with it. And it just happened that I was buying something anyway. So when that happens, it's really nice and it works out. And it has this really fun birdhouse, almost like one that you'd make yourself, and then some nice little birds. And the nice thing about this stamp is that the birds are both facing different ways, so you can have them facing each other, which is nice, especially when you're trying to stage your card. So here's my grass. You can see that I have cut the bottom off, so the 2 layers of green are gone now. And then I had to go through my scraps again to find a piece of grass, or sorry, a piece of green that would match the color that I want. I didn't want a green that was lighter than the one that's on the background, so it's kind of still doing that transition. You're just missing one of the greens. This grass dye was this grass was cut with a Heffy Doodle die. You can use any of them, but I just happen to have these ones, and I really like them. They actually come in like 4 different shapes and curves, and they're kind of fun. So there we go. Very simple scene. Very simple. If you're looking for a very quick card and you happen to have a lot of scraps, this is fun. And you can use any colors you want. It could be monotone, it could be a rainbow, black and white if you wanted to. Like, it's just a lot of fun. And then off camera, I had also cut off a branch, and that was one of the Spellbinders dies. It came with some birds and it's branched, and I thought that it would be fun to have these birds that I'm stamping now sitting on the branch and having the treehouse, or sorry, the birdhouse, sorry, hanging off the tree branch. So now I'm going to fast forward this quite a bit so we can see just the coloring of it. You can definitely fast forward this if you're not interested in coloring, but I know for me, sometimes when I see coloring, I just love seeing it come in fast motion. So that's why I left it, but you're more than welcome to just move on to the next piece. But if you want to stick around and listen to me idly chat about nothings, then you're more than welcome to enjoy. So the colors that I'm using are just different shades of brown and a French gray. I think there's 2 French grays that I'm using, probably the 20 and the 50. I don't really have any, you can kind of tell, I don't really have any rhythm here. I'm just quickly just coloring this and just letting it come organically. You can kind of tell that it's not flawless, but that's fine. I'm not picky. That's one of the best things about Craft Roulette is not that you don't make nice cards, is that it's just an outlet to have fun and just let go of all these rules and regulations and expectations and all the other Asians that we can think of, that kind of ruin it sometimes. So if you're not familiar with Craft Roulette, it's a great show. It happens almost every Friday, and it's hosted by Mary Gunn, and she will spin a wheel with her guest and pick 4 randomized parameters, and that's for project, color, element, and random. And then you have until Sunday to submit a card creating this. It really encourages you to be creative. You don't have much time to be picky, and you really get to utilize the scraps that you have in your craft room. You don't need anything new. You can use things that were 10, 15 years old. It doesn't matter. It's all for fun. You can then post it on craftroulette.live for chances to win amazing prizes, and they differ every week. Usually it's a monthly change, but I'll say weekly just in case it changes. But it's a lot of fun, and there's also a Facebook group that is full of love, and if you want to share your card there, definitely do so, and you will get the praise that you deserve. And also Craft Roulette Live does have a gallery that shows you everything that everyone has created, and it's so awesome. Lots of inspiration. You will get lost in all the cards that have been created. I'm really proud of Mary and Stephen for what they have created. It's amazing. I wish I could do something like this, but give it to the professionals, right? They really are doing well, and I'm so proud of what they have accomplished. So that being said, here I was coloring one of my birds, and I decided to do a nice yellow one. So when I'm coloring these birds, I'm kind of matching the theme of the background. So I'm going to do a yellow one, which matches the bottom, and then I'm going to do a red one. So I'm focusing mostly in the middle layers. And the reason I'm doing that is mainly because the one bird is at the top and the other bird is in the bottom. So because I'm focusing on the middle layers, I'm going to reverse the colors. I could have done a pink bird, but I personally like red birds. I think they're really cute. I grew up in Ontario, and there used to be a lot of cardinals, and I just love them so much. This is not a cardinal, not even close, but it's a nice, pretty red bird. And I'm just quickly coloring that, and I fussy cut it right out. I did not leave any white edges on any of my stamped images this time. And I'll just glue that right down to the corner. And off, oh, sorry, while I was chit chatting, I did off camera put the sentiment on there that says Happy Bird Day. I have it a little crooked, but I kind of did that on purpose. I don't like it, but I thought it'd be cool at the time. So here I'm going to redeem myself by adding another little sentiment inside, and it's going to say "Have a tweet." I love this sentiment. I just like the nice, simple, clean, small font. I never stamp inside, but I was kind of disappointed with the stamping on the outside, so I decided to add a little something in the inside. At least it gives you a purpose to open up this card. So there we go. That's it. I talked through the whole thing, and so I hope you enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun to create that card. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I do hope that you enjoyed that. I will hopefully, I don't know if I'll make a video for 163. It all depends. Like I said, it's so beautiful out there. I got lots of gardening to do, and I don't know what I'm doing. So there's a lot of learning. So anyways, thank you so much for joining me. I do hope you enjoyed this and has created some inspiration for you. And I hope to see you in Craft Roulette. 163 has started. It's on a roll, and you have until Sunday, so definitely check it out. But don't worry, there's always another one after that. So until the next time, have a wonderful, beautiful, sunny weekend, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye.